if you are on, let me know, because this is super weird. We may just end up recording this and then letting people play it later because something happened, obviously. Anyway, okay, well, since it looks like there's an issue with this, I guess I'll just go through it quickly and then I can get the replay up for people and you can reach out to me with questions that are ideally post them in the Facebook group. Okay, so this week we're following up with our backlinking and SEO kind of basics from last week. And I want to emphasize again that the reason why we're covering this is not just so we can eventually rank on page 1. Yes, that would be great. But the reason why we're doing this is because our websites will no longer be delivered effectively if we don't align them with the requirements that are coming out from every single database that's out there, every single search engine that's out there. So this week, let's go ahead and dive more into domain authority and getting more backlinks. And so I do have Chrissy on with me. And Chrissy, what I'd like you to do is, if you have a moment, if I'm going along and I say something, you're like, oh, hey, can you expand on that more? Can you just kind of, flag me down and say, hey, can you expand on that a little bit more?
You do realize that that might drag it out a little bit, right?
That's okay. That's okay. We're not going to go. We don't have anybody on to ask questions since the insert color from metaphor platform decided to change the time on everybody randomly. So we'll just go with what we can. All right. So, that's wrong. That's from last week. So topics for today. I might as well fix this since nobody's waiting, right? And people can fast forward. All right, so we're going to clarify and expand on domain authority. And this is actually based on a discussion I had with my sister, Chrissy. And so I'm hoping, Chrissy, that by the time we're done with this, that if you can say, oh, hey, yeah, I definitely understand domain authority a little bit better now, that might help me say, oh, okay, this is what helps. So we'll talk more about backlinks and why these are important no matter where you are online. And we're going to have a little bit of an overview about Avert Suite. It's going to be really small. So if that's what you're here for, skip towards the end. All right, so domain authority. We talked about this a little bit last week, but last time, I should say. But I want to kind of refresh your memory that domain authority is the prediction of how well a site will rank, okay? It's from Moz, which is moz.com if you want to go and see their stuff. And it's based on various factors. There's like 40 different factors. And just so you know, Google has reported over 200 factors for ranking factors. So we understand that the domain authority is not a guarantee. It's just an estimate. It's just a guess, just wondering if there is a chance. It's like, oh, hey, yeah, this has a better chance of ranking. It doesn't look at the content on site. It doesn't look at anything else but the strength of the site. And it looks at things like existing traffic that's coming into the site. So if there's already people visiting the site, whether it's from email marketing or running ads or, running Pinterest stuff and people coming in from Pinterest or other social media, if they happen to find you from a link from somebody else's site, that's all traffic that's going into your site. And that counts towards your ranking. Now, backlinks, which again, backlinks are links from other sites, right? So it could be, and we'll talk a little bit more about backlinks, but it could be from somebody else's blog post. So like if Chrissy has a blog post and she's pointing to my site and somebody clicks on that and comes to me, that's a backlink. Well, even if they don't click on it, it's still a backlink. It's showing Google that, hey, somebody's directing traffic to me. But when somebody clicks on that, that's traffic, right? Through that backlink. And when they look at backlinks, they look at the quantity and the quality of the backlink. And we'll talk more about quality in a minute. On-site potential, which is going to be more like how fast your site loads and if it's mobile friendly, things like that. And then the age of the site. So this is one that a lot of people kind of skip. They're like, oh, I have a brand new site and I can get my domain authority up. You can in about 6 to 8 months, but I have seen, for the most part, brand new websites typically take 6 to 8 months to season. And that's maybe even a year now, because, when you go and you buy a domain, people will buy them all the time. They'll buy a domain for a year and sit on it. which is not a bad idea if you're trying to age a domain so that you can work on it in a year. But if for a lot of spammers will do this, and they'll buy it and then they'll build a site, and then after the end of the year they let it go. So Google looks at it and says, well, if you are older than a year, then there might be some legitimacy to your site. Now, that doesn't mean your domain authority will go up if you don't have any content or anything else on it, because in fact, that's like lead generation source. I've had it for like 2 years now, and it's still a domain authority of 1, mostly because I never used it. So to clarify, domain authority is not related to the actual content on the site. So authority in this case does not represent anything on the site. And Christy and I had a discussion about that, and because I didn't even think about that. The word authority indicates authoritative, right? Somebody who is like an expert in the field. They're an authority on it. And in this case, domain authority does not mean that. I don't know why they picked the word authority for this. It would be more like domain strength or domain capability of ranking, and this is a shift from what it used to be. So it could be that the original term was actually related to authority, but now it no longer means that. So authority does not, somebody can rank something on a site with like no content on it that's relevant to anything. I've seen it. I'm like, how is this site ranking? This is like bad content. I have seen content that is completely inaccurate that will rank. So it's possible to rank just about anything because it's not about the actual content on the site, right? Now, it does play a factor when you're trying to match stuff up, which we talked about last week. And we'll talk about more when we talk about keywords. So a brand new website starts with a domain authority of 1. And you'll see actually some established sites that have a domain authority of 1 or 2 or 3. And that's usually because they have no backlinks. They're not really doing anything. They're not present on social media. And you're like, wait, but they're 15 years old. Well, they haven't done anything. So if they haven't done anything, they've just existed. There is no possibility of them. There's not a good possibility of them ranking. So the range of domain authority is from 1 as the lowest to 100 being the highest. And sites like YouTube are at 99, and Google itself is frequently reported with a 100. Now, I'm going to tell you, even sites with domain authority of 100 do not always rank on page 1. Google is notorious for not ranking on page 1 for its own content. Right? And I'm like, wait, well, I'm looking for information on Google, and I have to go to page 3 in order to find them. So they have a domain authority of 100, and they still show up on page 3 while other ones are showing up ahead. That's because keywords and relevance play a critical role, and search history and a bunch of other things. So just because your site has a high domain authority doesn't mean it will rank. And just because it has a low domain authority doesn't mean it won't rank. So that's just something, it's just something more to kind of give you a gauge on if you type in a keyword. Like, so if I type in a keyword, I'm going to pull it over in just a second. Let's just do make money online, because that's a huge one, right? So we've got this. Oh, I don't think I have Moz turned on. Hold on a second. All right, so I've got Moz turned on now. Let's see if it updated. So yeah, so we see that there's a domain authority of 93 here. So if my domain authority, actually I have a domain authority of 13 on Little Biz Resources, I would probably say this would be difficult to compete against. But that's why what we did last time is we said, okay, let's look at all of them and look at the lowest 3, right? So we see 93, 54. 54 is a way big jump down. And then here's a 48. So we've got 54 and 48. And then there was a 60, here's a 36, right? So we've got, those are our lowest ones, 36, 48, and 54. And I say, I still have a 13, it's gonna be tough still. That's how I determine if that's what you use domain authority for, is looking at the comparison. So when I've made my keyword list, which will again, we should have done that from last time. And if not, that's definitely on your to-do list. We've made our keyword list. Now we can go back and say, which ones should we focus on first? Now, if you're like, oh, hey, I already have Celtic ornaments like I do, and I need to rank for that one, then you're just going to have to figure out how do you get, let's type in Celtic ornaments here, which I think, again, this is going to be based on search. So if I show up, it might be just because of my historical search. So we've got Etsy, Amazon, which of course these are big, 92, 96. Here's a Cafe Press at 91. This is actually Clip Art at 76. 44. Here's a 19, Christmas in Prescott. Here's 98, 93, and then 29. And so I have to look at this and go, well, 19 is the lowest one. I'm going to have to get my site up to that because I'm kind of committed to the product. So that's why it's nice to start with the keyword research. But here's the thing is that Celtic ornaments are only one of several keywords, right? So if I've done my research, I can go, which one should I focus on first with the idea of ranking for Celtic ornaments, because Celtic ornaments is my highest converting one. So that just kind of gives you an idea of domain authority. So did that help at all, Christy? Did that help explain domain authority a little bit more?
Yeah, a little bit, but you might have said this, but I was looking at all the different stuff because I have squirrel syndrome. But did you say anything like if you put like, I saw on Etsy, so would that give me some like, would that even like be able to rank my Etsy site like type thing? Would that be able to have a domain authority, or because it's on Etsy it doesn't affect it, like because it's in a community or whatever, it's not my own website?
Right. So let's see here. So market, oh, look, you have your own category.
I do.
You have your, and look at your domain authority, 92.
I know. I told you I'm pretty good at dominating on this.
Right. So, and here you are, here's your shop. You have a domain authority 92. Now here's where the second factor comes into play, which we're going to talk about, is page authority, right? So your page authority of 49 pulls down your domain authority, and which is hard to say. It's not pulling it down to 92. What it is means that if somebody had a page authority of 92 and a domain authority of 92, then they would probably beat you out.
Well, but you searched my store, so that's different than
right. And
keyword,
but this is a general ranking. It's not based on the keyword.
Oh, okay.
So theoretically, if I were to put in Etsy, let's put a real word, which of course you can tell that this is not a tracked keyword, which I would venture to guess that most words with Etsy and some sort of search term like this are probably searched regularly, but Google doesn't track them. So it's just something to keep in mind. But you can see that, look, the first thing that Google does, puts their own ads on top. So now we can see that this is their flannel fabric market, and they have a page authority of 47. Do you remember what yours was? 42, right?
42, yeah. Well,
49, maybe apparently. 49, I guess.
Oh,
yeah.
92 and 40. Well, one said 47, one said 49. That's right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So now we can see that, but so you're still ranking on second for that, right? So, and here's the thing is that, again, it's an individual search is going to vary. So like if somebody else were to search this exact one, they may get completely different results.
Right. It's all based off of what searches you've already done on your browser and stuff.
Right. And so you can see that a lot of these are page authority of 47. And so let's talk about page authority a little bit, right? Okay. So domain authority is important for ranking your site on Google, but it can also influence other search engines, and we don't know how much. All we know is that high ranking sites tend to be also the most engaged on social media. So is it social media that's influencing the page, or the page is influencing social media? They are intertwined, right? They're intertwined. We know Facebook pulls information from your website to show to people. So Facebook must be tracking, especially once you put a pixel on there, right? They must be tracking the amount of traffic you're getting. So is your site popular enough for them to show to more people? What kind of people should they show it to, et cetera, right? So now domain authority also influences page authority. So it's funny because this is like a two-way street, right? So they influence each other. But you can see here, so this is the strength. So page authority is the strength of the individual page. So being on Etsy itself, this is not Etsy, by the way, this is Wikipedia. So being on Etsy itself, is a huge domain authority, because so you're going to have a better chance to rank. But you can see based on the page authority that there's some variation that, like, are you going to beat out Etsy itself? Probably not, even though you pretty much did. But and you have enough, obviously, Chrissy, you have enough backlinks going to yours that it makes it really strong. But let's say
it didn't show that, did it?
Show what?
Any backlinks for me? Did it show that on there?
I don't know if they can track it that easily.
Because
that's not what I wanted. I wanted Google. I'm on Google. Oh my gosh, I need caffeine. I gave up Diet Coke, and this is my punishment for a while. Okay, so what did I say? I said Etsy. Let's do the flannel fabric one again, okay? Wait, is it not showing me one for this?
It's at the yeah. That's why I don't know. That's why when you went all the way down, it went to the past the market. I never saw one for that one. It was all connected with that one, second one. So
That's see, and this is pulling in a schema. So, and you cannot adjust schema, right? You can't adjust the schema on Etsy because Etsy controls that, not you. So here, so then we'll have to skip that one. So let's go here.
Real quick. My question originally, and it shows right there one link, but is would it be better to, like, for me, I started on Etsy. Would it have been better to have had a website first and then done Etsy? Like, because I can't compete obviously with Etsy itself in theory, but if I had a regular website, would it even be able to compete with this type of a listing, which is already pretty much predefined by Etsy? You know what I mean?
Well, and this is what I was saying about e-commerce. So e-commerce, especially in the last year or so, has had major shifts on searches. And since Google gets like over 90, I don't know, anywhere between 80 to 90+% of searches, I'm going to base my information on that. And I have seen this where when you type stuff in now, because I have the word Etsy, if I were just to type in flannel fabric, this would probably change, right? So now, first of all, you're going to see all this stuff here, which is the ads from
almost the same exact ones.
But you're going to have the ads from, yeah, well, that makes sense. You're going to have the ads from Google, and then you're going to go into other pages, right? So look, Joanne is beating out Etsy. And they have a lower domain authority, but they have a slightly higher page authority. Remember, we saw in the 40s for the other stuff, right?
Yeah.
So theoretically, and this is why both page authority and domain authority are relevant, because again, domain authority is saying the strength of your domain, which includes the quality of the backlinks, et cetera. But look at this page authority with 6,104 links, and yours that had one link. And you guys have a really close page authority, right? But I bet, yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Here's Etsy finally with a domain authority of 92 and a page authority of 51. So it's because Google also pulls on site. So on site, they say, oh, well, and traffic and everything else. And they go, okay, well, and look at this, local results, right? And that's what I've been saying about e-commerce, is that e-commerce has been shifting away from, as much of the, hey, let's present online information. And in fact, Google has said, look, we get more local searches than anything else. So we're focusing on local, which is like, wait, can we just have two different Googles then? Because I'd rather go, hey, I'm searching local, click on local, or no, I want to search everywhere.
Right.
And maybe they shift to that one day, who knows? But for now, we have to just go by their mercy. And so I have seen this shift in e-commerce. So when you ask me, is it better to have your own site, or is it better to be on Etsy to start with? It really depends on what you're trying to do. So if you have, this is what I've always stood by on e-commerce, is that, and for a long time now, because I sell on Amazon, we sell on Etsy, Larry sells on eBay. These have built-in traffic markets. And so if you have a built-in traffic market through an email list, through a social media site or whatever, you should have your own site. You should just have your own site, skip the fees, and build up your own site, because you're not really worried about ranking them because you have a built-in traffic ranking. If you're trying to start e-commerce with the purpose of ranking on page 1, you should give up now, because I have sneaky suspicions that this is going to get less and less and less towards the ability for e-commerce. Because remember, you're making money from e-commerce, right? So you're making money from e-commerce. So Google wants their cut. So they're going to start, and this is what's happening in local. So in local, they're doing the same thing here, right? So you don't see it here. Yeah, you don't see it here, which is hilarious that there's two Joannes here, huh?
There's 15 around you, so
I know.
I only went to 2 different ones so far.
I know. Next time you come,
actually, those 2.
Yeah, we'll have to hit up more when you come, because there's a lot of them around here.
Yeah, and there's actually some closer to you than those.
Well, our Arlington Highlands now, where I live now, is this one.
That's your main one. But Hearst, I think there's another one closer to you than that one.
There might be. So it may not be, because I think they were moving one. But anyway, what they're doing with local is the same thing, right? So they've always had what they call the 3-pack here. But now when you start typing in information, you start typing in local words, they have sponsored ads above the 3-pack, right? So now you might have 4 show up and the top one's sponsored. And my guess is that's going to get lower. So they're going to test this. They always do. And they're going to say, well, how many can we get away with charging for? Because think about it. If you're typing in something local, those search terms are typically, 20, 30, dollars per click when you're there. And if theoretically, if you show up and it's local and you're in the top, then you're going to go ahead and get more clicks. So people pay for that. But because of this, so think about this. So e-commerce, I typed this in and now I'm competing with local ads, shopping ads, and then whatever the organic is. And we've got major marketplaces. It's going to be impossible to rank for very long.
Okay, so we're talking about domain authority or whatever. So then this doesn't rank based off of domain authority as we're seeing. So this is ranking based off of a keyword that they have on their website or however their SEO stuff goes, right? So the domain authority might help, or
yeah. So domain authority is, again, it's a comparative tool. So if you had if every other factor was the exact same, and you're on so let's say that this site was the exact same as the other site, but you can see 6,104 links versus, let's see what the Etsy one was, 2 links. And look at this one's 1 link. So that's what I mean. There's a whole bunch of factors that go into how they rank. And to be honest, any one of these at any day, Google may just flip around and see if you click on something. Right? Because that's just what they're doing. They're constantly testing. So even if you rank in the first spot one day, the next day you might rank in the 5th spot. And then, but you'll tend to be, if you're on page 1, you tend to stay on page 1. And if you're in the top 3, you tend to stay in the top 3, as long as you're doing all the things you need to do. And so, but when we're ranking for e-commerce, it's getting increasingly difficult. So that's why I say, if you're going to get into e-commerce, don't plan on ranking for your actual buyer keywords. You need to start thinking about content, because content is where you can rank. So let's say that you wanted to do, and I have a tool that actually does this better. So, oh, look, here's one how to wash flannel fabric. Here's one they actually recommended, right? Because I typed in flannel fabric. So there's only 20 searches per month, but let's take a look and see. Now look at our domain authorities: 59, 42, 52, 38. These are actually still kind of high. Oh, here's an 8. An 8 made it to the page 1. 8's not hard to do. 8's pretty easy. So and so that's something I didn't mention. So when we're talking about domain authority, right, we're saying that we're going to go from 1 to 100. So going from like 1 to 50 is let's just go like 1 to 30 is probably going to be relatively easy. Like if you can get into the 30s, it does take a little bit of time, but you can get into the 30s relatively easily. Getting past that, you better make sure you don't have your spammy links in place. And this is why a lot of people will cheat and get into the 30s, because they don't need to get past that. Other people aren't doing anything. So they'll just go, oh, I'll just do a bunch of spam links and I'll do this and I'll do that. And oh, I'm at 30 something. Who cares if I have a spam score of 6? I'm still getting shown for 100 keywords or more. So the domain authority, again, is just a comparative tool, but to get from like 70 to 100 is like really difficult, right? I mean, so it's exponentially difficult. The higher you go, the harder it gets to start going higher and higher. And that's what makes the comparative tool helpful. So if I were to look at that again and say, sorry, I gotta pull back up, say, okay, I have a domain authority of 8 here, but look at this one's 93, right? But that's probably because of this one says 3 ways to wash flannel sheets. Now, what's on their site? Maybe they don't have a lot of content. In fact, let's look at this. Oh yeah, look at this is how much content they have, right? And then it's pictures. Oh, look, here's a little bit more content, but it's not very much. This content is small. And so Google's looking at this going, okay, so let's look at the one before it.
Google's looking at it going, hey, people have a very long attention span. If it's the shorter, the better.
No, well, and here's the thing is that they want to make sure you have enough. Well, so they had a bunch of pictures there, which pictures are fine, but this one is even less content. So it could be based on the number of words. It could be on how many people are looking at it.
What first one was a wiki site.
Yeah. This one is a wiki. It's WikiHow that ranked. So this is WikiHow with a domain authority of 93.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, and for the recording, we did have people hop on. Thank you. Something happened. We don't know what happened to Demio, but when we went to start the webinar, first of all, everything was changed on the back end, and it told us that it had 6 hours before it started. And we're like, what? So we're probably going to miss some people.
Reminders didn't get sent out. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So what I'm saying though, is that this is definitely a comparative tool. Yeah. You'll probably get one in a few hours telling you to hop on, Linda. So just ignore it. I'll have to look into it and find out what happened. Oh, I gotta love updates, right?
I did my earlier meeting and every one of us had connection issues. Every one of us.
That's because everybody, what are we in? We're at the end of August. So think about this. We've got about a month and 10 days before we are in fourth quarter. So,
or
yeah.
bum, bum, bum.
Yeah.
Which one?
I don't know. So anyway, and then here's the other thing too, is that so wiki is not, this one doesn't interlink. So when you're on here, there's not other people linking to this for the most part, because these are individual pages. So there's not a whole lot of interlinking, and your interlinking can also be a factor, right? So there's also bounce rate. I mean, there's so many factors that play into this that we're just trying to overcome the beginning ones right now. And so then we fine tune as we build our domain authority, and we fine tune, we can then expand into, okay, let's take a look at these next steps, right? So it's just really a comparative tool to say, hey, to help us focus on the ones that are going to be easier to rank for. Now, if you're like, hey, I really don't care if I rank on page 1, then don't worry about checking to see what's on page 1 to compare to. Make your keyword list and focus on that based on your own research and what you think is going to do well. All right, so let's go back to page authority though. So page authority, again, is the strength of the individual page. And I have seen, so this is an example, right? So this is Wikipedia, and they have a really strong domain authority, but each of their pages has a different page authority. In fact, I've seen some in the 60s. And this is going to be the case where even though they have a high domain authority, and you can have a really low domain authority, and you can rank above them even with a lower page authority too. And because the way that Moz is looking at this is they're saying, hey, they have a high domain authority, they're probably going to rank better. And so again, it's just a comparative tool. Sorry, I'm still having asthma issues. We must have mold or something in the air. It's Texas. We probably have everything in the air. Anyway, so if you say, okay, I'm going to rank for how to find gold in sand. Let's just say that's what it is. How to find gold in sand. And Wikipedia might have a thing on gold, and there might be even a section on it that's how to find gold in sand. So that might be on the page. And it might even show up on page 1, but it's probably going to be down at 9 or 10, or maybe even on page 2, simply because the page doesn't focus on that. And so this is where just because they have a high page authority also doesn't mean that they're going to rank. So this was their actual main English page. What's the chance? I mean, unless somebody types in Wikipedia, nobody's going to go there. And I mean, what's on the Wikipedia main site? I'm pulling it up. Let's see here. As long as I can get into it. So this is what I did, right? So here's the domain authority 93, page authority of 80 for this one. And I went into English. So this is the main site. Welcome to Wikipedia. Page authority of 87. What words do you think that they're going to rank for? Probably Wikipedia, maybe Free Encyclopedia, right? I mean, this is going to be one of those where, and I wonder if I can take this page and put it into Ubersuggest. I don't know if I can do it by page or if it's just going to take it by, yeah, it's just taking it by Wikipedia. Let's close that. So we are not here for an hour waiting for it to load and all the things, but there's just no guarantees, right? But what we can say is that if we have a page authority of 1 and a domain authority of 1, the likelihood is that Wikipedia will outrank us for everything. If we build our domain authority and our page authority, as we build our domain authority, that will influence our page authority and vice versa. I've seen some that have a higher page authority than a domain authority. That's a bad indicator, right? It's a bad indicator. That usually means that, and here we go. So when you look at page authority, you want the page to be close to the domain authority. So ideally a 1-to-1 ratio. So check this out. Let's see if it still does it. Give it a second, it's gonna load. Oh, wow, my domain authority went up again. Yesterday it was 13. In fact, I think I have a screenshot of it. Today it's 14. My page authority 13. So you see how close that is? And yesterday it was 13 and 13. And maybe when I go into like specific things, oh, my domain authority went up. That's so sweet. I don't know why. I don't have to figure out why. So anyway, so that's really good. That's a good indicator that I'm building quality links, that I'm getting traffic, that I'm doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing when they're close. Now, just because they're off, if you have a really strong site and you're getting lots of traffic, nobody cares. But if you're not getting a lot of traffic and they're really like off, like there's just a real big disparity between them, then you need to take a look at things like your backlinks, typically spammy backlinks. So, Viagra sites linking to you. I mean, we've talked about this in prior webinars where we said, look, don't go to Fiverr and pay for backlinks. The majority of the people that are on there are going to send you backlinks that are spammy. Then you could have a lack of backlinks, right? So you could have a page that has 0 backlinks and that page authority is just lower because of that. And then you say, okay, well, if I want that particular page to have a better page authority, then I need some backlinks to it. And, in a website, you're going to have backlinks coming into ideally all of your pages and then into like your home page. A lot of them will go to your home page. And then there'll be a lot that are just going to specific areas. So you're just going to have backlinks coming into all different types of your pages. And that's where it starts to, I've talked about this before, it passes link juice through. So if you have 5 pages, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and something's linking to page 5, and then page 5 links to page 1, guess who's also benefiting from that link to page 5? Page 1. And it just goes, you just start to really build this web of essentially trust is what it is your site worthy of ranking? Is your site worthy of being shown to people? Now, again, it's all a guess because there are plenty of sites out there that you're like, how on earth is this even allowed to be? But they exist. So, and again, I want to remind you guys that page authority and domain authority, so both of them, they do not consider on-site optimization factors, just the off-site. So on-site things would be like the keyword optimization, if you have images, if you have video, how long people are staying on your site, stuff like that is probably not included in that. In fact, I didn't see that on the list. So how to get backlinks. So wait, before we go into that, did that kind of made sense for domain authority and page authority, right, Chrissy? Yes, maybe.
Well, yes and no. Unfortunately, I'm not quite grasping because in my mind, like you said, authority means they know what they're talking about. But
right, it doesn't mean that though.
What I guess you're saying backlinks and stuff like that help because it makes it trustworthy. But then you said don't get ones from like spammy sites or porn sites or whatever, right? So
right, and that's because did I talk about this a little bit in here? Sorry, I'm gonna skip through. No, I guess I didn't. I meant to add it in. So if
I'm just jumping ahead for you.
Well, I don't think I actually included. I think I meant to, and I ended up not adding it in for some reason. I got distracted. My child came out at 3:00 and said, "Why are you still awake?" And I'm like, "Because you just went to bed an hour ago." And she's like, "Well, the light is on and you need to turn it off and go to bed." So
wow.
I was like, "Well, I'm tired anyway." So I went to bed, but then we both slept in. So good times. Anyway, so domain authority here, we got 98, right? Let's say that, and this is Wikipedia. So if Wikipedia links to us, we're gonna see both page authority and domain authority. So let's actually let's think of a Wikipedia site, right? Anybody have a suggestion on Wikipedia? What they want me to search?
Morgan Horse.
I actually have looked at that one. So this one has a domain authority of 98 because that's the domain, right? So that's Wikipedia's authority is 98, but a page authority of 70. But think about this. So a page authority of 70. So think about it like this, so that they're basically the same number, right? But what this one is saying is that the domain authority is saying how strong your actual domain is. So like your brand, right? Then your page, on the other hand, is going to be the strength of your individual page. So in this case, Morgan Horse is a page authority of 70, so it should have a good chance of ranking. So when we go into Google and we put in Morgan Horse, oh, and this is going to be based on history. I can't show you. Well, who cares? We'll just see what's ranking based on incognito mode.
I don't know. I think that still takes into account some of it.
It very well may, but we'll see. So yeah, so it's still showing more the Wikipedia as the first one. Is that the right site though? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably because there's not much. I mean, that particular keyword may not have that much competition anyway, right?
Right. That's what I'm gonna. Now we're gonna look back at that again. Oops, I just put in Morgan, huh? All right. So we know that we saw the page authority of 70. So we saw that page, and then we come down and look. The second one's 39 and 35, 39 and 47. 39 and 36. Now you're never going to see a 99 and a 4 over here, right? You're never going to see that.
You're not going to see it that way, but we're seeing a lot of the page authority lower, obviously. But why now? Why is it significantly lower?
Because they don't have very many backlinks.
Just to that one page?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, Linda, this is it's free. This tool is free from Moz. So if you go into Chrome extensions and just look for the Moz toolbar, you can get that for free. They do make you sign up for an account, but it's all free. So yeah, so this one, now here's one that's different. This one's 47. Look at how many links it has. 8,879 links going back to this one, and 39 for the domain authority. And that's because this one has a lot more links going into it. So this one's probably driving up their domain authority.
So they have a thing, I just happen to know this, that if you want to register to be on their website, you have to put them on your website type thing. So it's like that's why they're getting more links like that, because people want to be on their website to be searched or whatever. And so some people that still are not even doing it still have the links over to the morganhorse.com.
Yeah. Well, and that's a good way to do that. So they're not really competing in this particular keyword. They're outside of Wikipedia. It's them. Right. Look at this one. They're about.
Right. Isn't that weird?
It, right. So, and look at this, 35 and 39. Look how close those are, that 1-to-1 ratio. And then 47 and 39
on my end, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
So anyway, so that's just kind of giving you, so there's no rhyme or reason, but so Linda, Facebook pages, it wouldn't necessarily work that way, because it depends on the keyword in this case. For the Moz bar, it's specifically for I think it's just for Google, for ranking on Google. I don't know if I go to Bing or something, if it would even do it. Is Bing exist? Let's go to Yahoo.
Yeah, Bing exists. It comes up on mine all the time. It drives me nuts. Hey, Yahoo still exists too.
Yeah, so let's see if I can do it on Yahoo. So let's see if I put in Morgan Horse, let's see what happens. So it does come up here as well. But look, there's different things that come up.
Whoa, what's that one? Yeah, that has a 0. Wait, it's 0 links and it has a page 27.
But a domain authority is 73. And here, this one was the second one. This is what, when I do research for my school stuff, well, when I did, I would have to research every single search engine, because each search engine had different results. And so I've learned the hard way that Google is not always the most accurate on because people know how to manipulate each one of these. This one's typically based on backlinks. So this one it says 18,884, but then it goes 0. And then this one has 8,879. So I'm not sure why this one is ranking over that one on Yahoo. Because Yahoo,
is it showing you paid ads right now and you just don't see it, or?
No, it shouldn't be.
I don't know why they even paid it.
It's jumping, so it's hard to do that. So anyway, so that's just kind of an idea of those. So that helped make a little bit more sense of it. Yes.
Sure. I mean, I get the gist of it, I guess.
Right. So it's not always about the number of backlinks, right? So again, that one that had like 8,000 backlinks, if there's like half of them are spammy, then it's going to bring down that value.
So it's okay. So you're saying the quality of the links, but also, and sometimes the quantity, but what, like, is there a way of knowing what is causing you to not rank higher?
Yes. But that's a completely different webinar.
Okay.
because it would take way too much time to cover that. There's a lot of different things that are factors in that. The whole first thing is that we need to start getting found in search engines. So this is just to get us to give us a foundation of it. And then later on, if anybody in our group actually starts building stuff, or maybe later on when we're just doing our own sites, we may just do some recordings, because I know there's a lot of people who are more focused on e-commerce. And if you guys are focused on e-commerce, it's really difficult to rank for e-commerce, and there's way too many factors. So it would be really hard for us to go, oh yeah, your site's not ranking because of this, because more than likely it's because it's e-commerce.
Can I answer Linda's question real quick?
Sure.
Linda asks if I'm a horse lover, and no, not particularly. I mean, I like horses, but in our franchise that we have, I have a client that is working with the Foundation Morgan horses, and that's the Morgan horse, but the closest to the original bloodline, to try and save them. And so that's something I've been researching a lot.
Yeah. So you'll see that even in my videos, I'll talk about them.
Because they're on the critically endangered list now. So we're trying to help figure out a plan to help save the breed.
All right. So we have at least a general understanding of domain authority and page authority at this point. So now we're going to talk about backlinks, because backlinks help us build our domain authority and our page authority. Guest posting. This is one that people talk about a lot. It's a freaking nightmare. I've tried to find things. It took me hours to track down a couple of places, and they're like, you need to have a domain authority of 72 already. And I mean, and you're going to link to us. We're going to link to you. And it was like all these requirements. And I'm going, yeah, I don't have time for this. So I moved on past guest posting, because I just think that it's extremely time consuming. And a lot of them are, you need to pay to get onto them, which is not really a guest post now, is it? So we're going to kind of glaze over that and talk more about these other ones. But social media links, these are links that we control. Alternate blogs, which we talked about some of these last week, like WordPress, Medium, which, by the way, I've always said that Medium is paid because I couldn't figure out how to do the free version. Turns out that you are on the free version. You just have to click the right spots to ignore the upgrade level. So we'll talk more about Medium when we talk about content. But bookmarking sites, you guys already know I like Digo. There are other bookmarking sites as well that have a pretty good domain authority that can, point back to your site and give you some link juice. Then we've got Wikipedia links. Now, Wikipedia links are hard to get, but usually they're powerful. So you saw that domain authority of 70, or no, domain authority of 98 and page authority of 70 from Morgan Horse. I'd still love a link from that if I was talking about Morgan Horses. I'd love a link back from there, because undoubtedly it would help build the domain authority of my site. Now, just because you're getting a link back from a 98 domain authority doesn't mean that your site's going to jump up a ton. It may only go up one, right? It may not go up at all. It's just that over time, they'll start to see, okay, well, now you got 5 really good links. Let's jump you up 15 or 20. Okay, now you're ranking better. Like I said, there's no rhyme or reason. There's no math to it that we know of. Well, there probably is, because it's an algorithm. But the algorithm is based on so many factors. It's almost like impossible to figure out. There's no way to go, okay, here's step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 742,000. You'd have a lot of steps to be able to get to that point. So instead, we just hit the big ones, because guess what? Everybody has the same elements, same requirements. So all you have to do is beat out the priority ones, and you're going to beat out a ton of people. And that would be mobile friendly and fast load speed. Those two are pretty much the key ones. If you can do that, you're going to beat out a lot of sites. All right. So then press releases is another one. And I have done research after research after research on this. And if you decide press releases is for you, you have to pay for press releases. I've tried looking at the free ones, and the free ones aren't going to get you any type of value for backlinks, and you're not going to get any type of traffic from it. So they seem pointless. And again, they can get pricey, but we'll talk more about that. So backlinks are part of, look at this again, right? So this is how backlinks affect ranking. So we've got our on-page optimization. We've got traffic, right? So traffic does affect ranking. So you can't just rank and then get traffic. You have to get traffic to rank, right? Seems like which one came first, the chicken or the egg. Doesn't matter. In this case, you can't rank without traffic. So it's just one of those. This is another reason why older sites tend to rank better, because they've been getting traffic for a long time. And if you're a new site, you don't have any traffic. So this is also why, again, like I said, is it social media driving the page or the page driving social media? It's both, because you can't rank without traffic, and you can't get traffic without, well, you can't get ranking traffic without ranking. So it's just one of those, again, like I said, chicken or the egg. You can take your pick, but you need traffic. So backlinks are only part of the factor for ranking on page 1 of Google, or page 2 or 3 for that matter. A site with a good domain authority and a good page authority will only rank for relevant keywords. And that's why you need to have your on-page optimization, right? And this is exactly why keyword research is critical. It's critical because you don't want, A, you can avoid competing with those people for a while, and B, you can rank easier for ones that they're not targeting. If they're targeting make money online and you're like, oh, hey, I'm going to do how to make money selling on OfferUp, which I actually have done. I did a book on that. Let's say that you write a blog post on that. Are you going to get a lot of traffic from it? No, you're going to get more traffic if you're on page 1 to make money online. But hey, it's targeted traffic. You're going to get people reading your information, hopefully clicking around on your site, maybe signing up for your email list, whatever it is. And who cares if you do it through 5 keywords instead of 1 keyword, right? That's where we're at. We don't have a massive site. So that's where we're going to be. Yes, it would be great if we could do it with 1 keyword. And I hear people, in fact, I was watching Neil Patel earlier, and he has this whole thing. He's like, oh, well, you can get plenty of traffic from just 20 pages of content. And I'm like, I don't know what world you're in other than you actually have built up your site over years. So, and I'm sure it's possible because he's done it. It's just that there's a lot that goes into it, and you're doing a lot of marketing then. So we're trying to balance our content and our marketing because we don't want to put a ton of money into our marketing. And he is requiring $20,000 a month from some customers. So I go, I take what he says. I love what he says. Don't get me wrong. I like Neil Patel. He's a good SEO guy. But some of the stuff he says is kind of like out of reach for the average person. So let's look at the strategy for a website when we're talking about keyword research. So we've done keyword research, right? We've done a little bit of it. Maybe we do some more after this week, or do it if we haven't. And we're going to look at this list again. And you can see that there's a variety of potential, right? So there's lots of potential on here. We've got Pinterest marketing here. Look at the lowest domain authority is 38. Guys, a week ago, I was at 11, domain authority of 11. I was at 13 yesterday. I'm at 14 today. The only thing I'm doing on Little Biz Resources is I'm sharing my content on my social media assets. Well, and my book marketing, stuff like that. So this is exactly what I did. I didn't realize that before I didn't have everything connected. So I went through, made sure everything was connected. That's kind of a key thing, right? And then I started creating content. In fact, I started recreating content. I actually just rebuilt my entire site. Rebuilt the entire thing. I moved it to a new hosting because the last one got hacked. And then the hosting did, not my site. I don't even know how that happens, but that's obviously something with the hosting provider. So I moved it to a new hosting. I put in WP Rocket, which sped it up a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. And my domain authority is going up in a matter of like 2 weeks, if that. Right? I mean, there's these little changes can make big differences. So I created, I literally created 1 post and I recreated another post. I'm recreating all my old posts. In fact, they're not even on there right now, right? I'm recreating all of the old ones. I'm updating them with the stuff that I recommend doing, which obviously I built that site and with no intention of ranking it. And I'm putting those pages back out. And I'm putting them out, and then I'm putting them through my automation. And I'm letting IFTTT do it all, right? Which is if this, then that. That's the software. It's free. And we've talked about that one before as well, but we'll talk a little bit more about it in a minute. So I've got my keywords here, and I'm going to say, okay, I already identified this one. This one has the lowest domain authority of 1. So Pinterest business account versus personal. Can I rank for that? Probably. And I'm not going to be using Little Biz Resources for that one, but maybe I do. And I say, hey, I have a domain authority of 14 now. So I could probably rank for that. I mean, look at this one right here. This one's got 16 Pinterest marketing course. Hey, I could give them a run for their money. So of course, the bigger the list, but make them still related. Hold on a second. Sorry, I'm like trying not to die. Okay. So I can give them a run for their money. And maybe even this 21 here, Pinterest digital marketing. I say, hey, I think I can. If I implement the stuff that I'm doing, get the backlinks, etc., I have a pretty good shot. So that's where that comparative element comes in. So now I've got my keywords. We talked about the tools of keywords last week, or last time, I should say. So if you missed that, please watch that, because it has really good information on how you can find a variety of keywords with different free tools. And again, I would just make as many as you can, keep building it. I keep building mine over time as I'm like, hey, I want to focus on this. I want to do more with this. I keep building it, right? Now, this is straight from last time. So we still need these elements, a fast loading website. And so again, even Facebook demotes slow loading websites, right? So if your website's slow to load, they're going to demote it in Facebook. Facebook's not going to show it as likely as a site that's fast. So now we go back to, which one is it, right? Is it because you have a good site or because you have social media engagement? Oh, well, you have social media engagement because you have a good site. And you're ranking because you have activity from that. So all of these things are starting to kind of intertwine on why everything aligns, right? Everything's aligning in this, where we say, okay, we need to have these particular factors. So, sorry, I think my phone's about to ring. Oh, Chrissy, no, I cannot hear you. Wait, can you guys? Oh, well, then I don't know what happened. Oh, yeah, somebody did try to call me. I thought I heard it start to ring. Okay, it's now muted. Anyway, okay, so I can hear you now. Yeah.
Drives me nuts.
Mobile-friendly websites. We've talked about this before, that mobile-friendly sites, and you'd be surprised at how many are not very good mobile-friendly. Like, they may come up as mobile-friendly, but this is where I didn't add this in, but bounce rate. So bounce rate is when somebody goes to your site and says, I can't handle this, and they back off, right? Because either slow loading is usually what causes bounce rate, but you could maybe get somebody, if your site loads the entire page into your teeny tiny small screen, and you go and somebody gets in, they go, I can't see this. I can't deal with this. And then they just back right out of it. So in this case, your site may be technically mobile friendly, but it's not really mobile friendly. And you're causing your bounce rate to just go through the roof. And that means that any efforts you just did for mobile friendly, just because you said, oh yeah, show my entire site on somebody's mobile device, it just doesn't work that way. Honestly, I don't even know how they did that. That's so old school. They must have a really old website, because that's old technology. So anyway, so I won't go over too much of this again, but we have to have those elements for on-site in order to rank. Then we also need to have a focus topic. And this is where our keywords come in handy, right? And we're going to align our content. We're going to use our alternate. So just because I might be talking about Pinterest business account versus personal, right? I may still throw in something about Pinterest digital marketing or Pinterest marketing tips, right? Because we're talking about a business account. Maybe I talk a little bit about marketing. So, and maybe that site ends up ranking for it. Who knows? But I can also have a second post and then interlink between them. That would be the idea for that. And we'll talk more about that when we talk about content marketing. So then you need to have enough content on an individual page. So I showed you guys that the ones that were even ranking have very little content. So this obviously ranges, but typically if you're going to be looking at competitive words, you're going to aim for around 1,200 to 1,500 words. Now you can say like Yoast, if you're using Yoast SEO on a WordPress, it's a plugin for WordPress, they're going to give you a number. I don't know what it is. I can't remember if they jumped it up to 600 yet or not, but it used to be 300 words. Oh, all you need to do is have 300 words. Yet that's not going to cut it anymore. You need to probably have closer to, 500, 600, 800 words, just so your site even gets read. Now, there is a chance in e-commerce that's not true. But again, in e-commerce, chances of us ranking on page 1 is going to be small anyway. So we're talking about content in this case. And again, we know this is flexible because there's a huge range, but the more content you have, as long as it's relevant, if you can only do 800 words to stay relevant, just do 800 words, because people keep them on, because you also want to keep them on your site for a little bit. And if you only have a couple hundred words, they read that and they move on, right? So I don't know. It's just, there are plenty of sites that can rank either way. It's just, there's so many different factors. We're talking about the easiest ones. And I should tell you that I ranked for a keyword, for this particular keyword. It was actually low competition though. And I was in the top 20 and I only had maybe a few hundred words, a video and a picture. That's it. And I was like, I didn't even know I was ranking for it. I ran it through Uber Suggest and it says you're ranking for this page. And I went, what? And so then I saw the page and I went, oh my gosh, how did I ever have this page rank for anything? There's like no content on it. So that's why I'm rewriting all my stuff, right? Because I'm going to put more content on it. I'm going to interlink in the pages, etc. as I build it. It's going to take me a while. It's not going to happen overnight, but it's going to take me a while. And I'm going to be happy with it, but it's going to build my site. So I don't expect you guys to like all of a sudden do everything all at once, right? We're going to just do this over time. We're just going to have our little to-do list that we can reference. And if we can't do it, we can't do it, but we're going to do what we can and build what we can to be able to reach people, get that traffic, get those sales, etc. All right. So now we have our kind of like our on-site. We already kind of know what we're doing on on-site. So let's talk about backlinks. So it's hard to do things we can't control. In fact, it's impossible to do things we can't control. So let's talk about what we can control. We talked about social media, secondary blogs, which is like WordPress.com, Medium, Blogger, etc. And there's Tumblr, LiveJournal. There's a couple of them. Bookmarking sites. And then, of course, we can automate updates to these. So like notifications on them, like a bookmark onto the bookmarking sites, updating our social media presence, etc. with the free IFTTT, which is if this, then that. There are other opportunities we have, which are like press releases. And if for those of you guys who have seen the emails, if you guys have seen emails from about, oh, see, good thing I do that. What is this doing? Instagram was giving me notifications. I'm getting like a ton of notifications all of a sudden. Okay, anyway. So if you guys have seen, and if anybody's promoting 100K shout out and you guys have seen it, then you know you have a little bit better idea of what it is. It's from Press Cable. I am not promoting it because they won't let me, because I don't have a list of 5,000 people on my email list. I'm like, I have 50. Will that work? No. So I am getting, but I am going to get this. And so it's a $2,500 price tag. And honestly, I'm using it for other purposes. So I can see where you guys are like, hey, I don't think that's for me. If it is for you and you guys want a good bonus, let me know. Just reach out to me. Well, his bonuses expire today, so you have to let me know today. But there's a guy who has some pretty good bonuses that I'm going through. And he is funny, so he cracks me up. He has some good software that he has included with it. But anyway, what this does is that it does press releases as well. So because I'm buying into this program, they also give us access to additional press releases in the future. So that will be part of Chrissy and our franchise. That will go into our franchise where we will offer press releases in the future. So if that's something you guys like, hey, I want to do press releases, we'll try to get you guys a decent rate on it. These are not cheap. They're not going to be cheap for us. And then of course we can't lose money on them. So we're going to have to figure out what the cost is from them before we can even do that. But it'll probably be a good month before we know anything about this. Press releases are a really fast way to build domain authority and traffic and backlinks, etc. Now, guest posts, you're just going to have to check for guest posting opportunities through Google search in your niche, because it's too hard to say, oh yeah, go here and you can guest post there. The other thing is that I'm not going to qualify a site and say, oh yeah, they're a good one, because I'm not taking that risk on. So now let's talk about non-index backlinks. So when you run, if you're doing like Uber Suggest or you're using Moz and you go on there and it says you have 0 links back to your site, and you know you're building these sites. So we're building these, right? We're doing the social media, the secondary blogs, and the bookmarking sites. So what ends up happening is you may have 30 links coming back to your page and it says 0. I have that happen all the time. And that's typically because these are not what they call indexed. And because so Google has a search bot, and so does Moz and a bunch of others. They have search bots. And what happens is, just because you're building those doesn't mean that they recognize them as a backlink, because they're saying, so what if you have a link back from Pinterest? Nobody's repinned it, so it must be just literally for link value, and we're not going to look at that. So we're not going to index it because it's not worth our time, essentially. And they just don't recognize them. Now, to get them indexed, it could just take time. You know, Moz claims that they scrape all the major sites and within 1 to 3 days you should have it. But that doesn't mean that they still show up, because again, if maybe Moz scrapes it and for some reason it's just not showing up. You need to figure out a way to help them get indexed. Now there are programs out there that help do this, but another way that you can do this, and you guys don't have to do this, I should tell you, this is just for those of you who are like a little bit more hardcore. You can then create backlinks to your backlinks. And an example of this is like your secondary blog. And I was going to put a little picture in here, but so let's say that you have a secondary blog on Blogger that's going to your primary blog. So like I have Little Biz Resources, and then that will share to Blogger. So now I could now create bookmarks and, you know, social media post or whatever about the Blogger post. So it just depends on what you want to do. But like typically I would go with like at least the bookmarking sites back to your secondary sites as well. And you can set that all up still through IFTTT. So literally it does it all without you having to do it. So once you set it up, it's done. It takes time, but just go a little bit at a time and eventually you get there. Now, we've been talking about backlinking to our sites, but what happens if you're like, oh, hey, I'm on Etsy, Chrissy, or I'm on Amazon. So I am. Right now, I'm just saying that if you're on these sites, so let's say you have a page in Wikipedia even, or you have a YouTube channel, you can backlink back to these properties as well. And it's kind of neat. So like, let's say that you're listed on Wikipedia, right? So you're listed on Wikipedia, but that page authority is only 70. And you're like, you know what? I want to kind of boost that a little. You could build backlinks back to Wikipedia, and the higher the domain authority, the stronger they are, right? So if you were like, hey, I have some spammy, I can get some spammy backlinks, but I obviously don't want them going to my site. You could send them back to powerhouses like Amazon, Etsy, Wikipedia. I probably wouldn't do it if it was Etsy. Amazon definitely should be fine. YouTube, it would be fine as well. But I'd still be careful with that. I mean, I wouldn't intentionally do spammy links. I would just say that if you're like, oh, hey, I want to build up a link back into my site, you could build links back to it. So you could bookmark the Wikipedia page to all your bookmark sites. You could announce it onto your social media. Look, now you're building backlinks back to the Wikipedia link that's linking back to you, right? So that's like a nice way to kind of give it a little bit of a boost. Now, why backlink to other properties? So let's use YouTube as an example. So I said, you know, if you have a YouTube channel, let's say, or a YouTube video. So you're going to post. So this is going to be, oh man, this is a whole image, sorry. So you're going to post this YouTube image. And then you're going to, so you post a video on YouTube with a backlink to your site. So here's your site. So I probably should have done it backwards, but so here's your site. So it's linking to your site. And then you're like, okay, I'm now going to put links back to pointing back to YouTube, right? Building the credibility of your YouTube page. So in this case, I used Blogger because that was the icon I could find, but it could be bookmarking things. It could be everything else. So it's going to be linking to here. That's linking to there, right? So now the credibility of these sites, or the link juice, so the domain authority and page authority, is now building up this, that's building this up. Does that make sense? You guys can see how link juice goes.
Inappropriately use that term, but I think I understand it.
So in this case, this Blogger page, this is actually my Chatty Review Blogger page, which has like nothing on it. It has a domain authority of 99, a page authority of 56, just because it's on Blogger. Now it's going to link to my YouTube video that has a domain authority of 99 and a page authority of 55. That's an actual one I pulled. And then that is going to be embedded and linking to my self-hosted WordPress that has, see, look at, I did this yesterday. It had a domain authority of 13 and a page authority of 13. I literally did this. I was probably 2 o'clock in the morning, and now it's a domain authority of 14. So, and then over time, each of these higher powered links will help build the domain authority and page authority of a self-hosted WordPress site or wherever else. Right. There has to be a link though, Linda. So she's saying if link to, meaning if someone sees it in the first one, they'll send it to the next one. Yes, but it's through a link, right? So it's through the actual domain. So if somebody's going to link to my site, they're going to put in, maybe, wait, it helps if I put the right one in. I'm sorry. I'm working around my microphone. Where is it? : /
Why are you going to type all that in the beginning?
I don't know. Because that's what, you can't build a link without it.
Oh yeah, so, if you're using a link, yeah. So I just thought you were trying to go to it. Let's
say that if I'm in YouTube And I got to be honest, they showed me a video the other day and I have no idea why it was in my recommended videos. I'm going, there's no way so, oh man, I can't do it. I'll have to go into my actual ones. So when you build into YouTube here, if I can get to one. So here we go. Like here's the advert suite video, right? So I have this link right here. So when a bot searches this, it's going to see it. But even better yet, if you go to my channel, you'll see, and this isn't going to go to Little Biz Resources, but the Little Biz Resources channel you can see that there are links here, right? So this free training one actually goes to lead generation campaign right now, but it'll swap out to lead generation source when I get around to doing it. And so people can sign up for it and everything else, right? So because this link exists, that is a link to my site. Now, when I link to this part, well, it just depends on where you're at, Linda. So she asked, how are these made? So like if I'm on my blog, let me see if I can get into it. What do you want, baby?
Can I have you come, please?
Sorry, guys, I'm trying to get into it. It's just taking me a second. Yeah.
Thank you, Mama.
You're welcome, baby.
Love you.
Love you too. Okay, so let's see here if I can go. I'm sorry, I'm just bringing this up so you guys can skip all the nonsense I have on my site, my back end, all the tools and everything that are just a nightmare to see. So I'm trying to get to an actual post, and I clicked on the wrong thing because I still have Moz up. Okay. What happened? Okay, anyway, so eventually you'll get to the post where you're going to do a post. Now, I use Elementor, so I'm going to actually open it up in Elementor because that's how I do it. But if you don't use Elementor, then you would have, it's going to look differently. Oh, in fact, I have a Medium. Let's see if I can pull up Medium. Okay, so I'm in my Medium account. So let's say that I wanted to do a new story in Medium, right? And I'll be honest, I haven't played with this yet. So let's say if I was going to do an advert suite example. So let's say if I wanted to, like, for example, in Medium, yeah, Medium is a blog site. And this was saying that I used to think it was you had to pay for it because every time you log in, it tells you that. But if you just skip the page and go up and say start writing, you can write, right? So, and Medium is really different than most blogging sites, but it's really powerful. So I've been playing with it. I just haven't had a chance to do much more than figure out how to get the free account. So, let's see if I want to do that. You can see my advert suite review here. So I don't know if it's going to let me do it or not. We're going to try this. Yeah. So then I would just highlight it in this case and say link. And then I have my, of course I just screwed that up, but I'm going to show you how to link. If I can type. Okay, and the reason why I'm doing this at the beginning of this particular blog post, there's a lot of different variation in how you can do this. This is just an example. So this is going to be my keyword that I'm linking to, and I'm going to paste in the link right there, right? And then I hit enter, and it's linked now. So when I publish this, this will be a backlink to my site. Now let's say that I want to do another backlink, might be like a video, right? So I can maybe embed a video, add a video. So paste a YouTube one. So let's go back to the YouTube. I feel like I'm doing something wrong here. Hold on. Hey, I don't have an icon for that. Okay, let's see. So I've got I'm trying to get the video real quick. So I come into YouTube and I would just find the link. Let's see, or you can paste a YouTube, just the link, huh? So again, like I said, I've never done this one, so we'll see how well it works. Nope, let's do the embed link. Embed. Cassandra, what do you need?
When I'm trying to turn it up, it just says this.
Oh, I know. I don't know how to fix that without turning it completely off. So you may have to restart the whole phone, okay?
Okay.
All right, so anyway, so I don't know if you're gonna have to embed it or not. I haven't done it with this before. So I'll have to play with that and find out here. But if I were going to embed that like on Elementor, like let's say if I was doing it on here, I could do the exact same thing, right? So I could do my text and then, I'm not gonna do the whole thing, just do text. And then let's say if I'm typing in my text over here and I say, see my review here. And let's say I decide to just make it here and then I can click the link and then type it, right? So embedded means that it's going to play the video here. So that instead of linking to the video, like if I wanted to create a link, I'm going to create a link that's going to take them away from the site. But if I want to embed the video, and this is not the way, this is just with Elementor the way I would do it. I just drag over video and then I would take my video link and I would put it here. And then now my video is here. So it's embedded. Now this is creating an embed link. So if I were doing it on another site, a lot of times, like I don't know how it works on Medium, but like if I wanted to put it on WordPress or something, I'd have to get it from an embed. So here's the, like if I want to come down and get the embed code, if it tells you to put an embed code, you come down to share and you would click embed and you can get this code here. Now, what I like about Elementor is that it strips off all the crap that YouTube leaves in it. So that's where I really like if I'm going to embed it in, if I'm going to put it in the site so people can watch it on my page, then that's what it means. So yeah, you know, a lot of that stuff people skip nowadays, Linda, because it's all like most people don't. We'll talk more about all of this when we talk about content, when we're building content. So anyway, so that's how you can build some links right there. So again, like I said, we'll go into a lot more detail on the how-to of all that when we talk about content. So anyway, you want your backlinks to be going all over the place, and that's how you build them up and you get, you know, more and more domain authority over time. So hopefully that makes sense to everybody because we're kind of running out of time. So, and I say, why this way, right? So a constant presence on as many platforms as possible helps to create a perception of trust. So whether you want to rank on page 1 or not is kind of irrelevant. This is how you're going to build trust. This is, you know, we've talked about this, you know, everybody goes, oh, well, I only want to be on Facebook because that's what I know. Well, here's the thing, is we've talked about this before, is that in standard advertising / marketing, there is a common, well, it dates back, I don't know, to like the 50s or 60s when they did an original test and they said, oh, well, people need to be exposed to a brand 6 times. I believe the number is a lot more now. They need to be exposed to your brand a lot more because they're just inundated with information. So they probably need to see it a lot more on average. Some people may need it once, some people may need it 50 times, who knows? Nobody's done an actual study recently that's been adequate to say, oh, hey, yeah, this is how many times it is for sure. Nobody's really said that. So we don't know, we just know it's quite a few. And if you're only on Facebook, you're going to have to run ads and you're going to have to be in front of them all the time. But if you are everywhere, if you're omnipresent, as the 100K shout out people are saying, then you're going to be on lots of platforms. People are going to be seeing you. They're going to recognize your name. They're going to recognize your logo. They're going to recognize that information, and they're going to be much more open and warmed up to what you have to offer. So that constant presence on as many platforms as possible helps to create that perception of trust as well to search engines, to other websites, etc. Engagement on social media and traffic from other sites indicates to search engines that your content is something people want. So everything we're doing here, we're talking about building a presence, driving traffic, and then of course, ideally getting conversions. But all that we're doing is helping to build that trust. So now Facebook's going to say, hey, people like this site, right? They can say, oh, Google goes, well, you know what? People like this site. They're going to it. They're coming from other social media. Then we must need to get it in front of people because it's important. Now, think about your friends and family versus strangers, right? So you probably have trust factors. You know, you must have like a gauge depending on your experiences with people, you know. So like I have, let's see, how many, we have a lot of cousins. Not a lot. We have actually, we don't have very many. We have 5 on one side and 2 on the other. So 7 total. And out of 7, I'm going to have a trust factor of those. And actually, I think they're all about the same. So maybe it was a bad example. I don't really know them. Let's go with siblings. So my husband has more trust of my brother and sister than his sisters because he hardly interacts with them, right? So it's the same thing. The more you have trust based on your experiences with people. I'm not saying my husband doesn't trust his siblings. I'm just saying that he trusts mine more because he sees them all the time.
With his trust rather than your trust with your siblings.
Right, I don't trust you guys at all.
Funny.
But because I know you, I am more likely to be able to make a decision and rank you based on that, right? So am I going to show you on first page, second page, or third page, depending on what you say? I'm going to be able to do that because I know you and I know all the different factors. Whereas if a stranger came up, it was brand new and said, hey, I want you to put me on page 1, I'd have to be like, for what and why? And well, I want you to put me on page 1 for this. Yeah, but why? I don't know you. That's the way search engines are, right? Search engines are the same way. Google looks at you and says, I don't know you. You gotta prove that you are what you are and you say what you are. And so everything we're doing is to prove that we are trustworthy and that we belong in front of people for that particular thing. So now why optimize? And if you remember from last week, I pointed out that all search engines in Google, Pinterest, Facebook, they all are starting to align to the same similar requirements. Facebook wants fast loading sites and mobile friendly and pulls data from your website. Of course, when you link to it, because if they don't know your website exists, it's hard for them to do that, to determine audiences, to show your post to and the popularity, etc. Google wants fast loading sites and mobile friendly. Hey, seeing something similar here, huh? And pulls data from your website for ads, content, ranking, etc. So all of these databases are shifting to similar requirements. I think Pinterest reported something similar where they're not going to show sites if that doesn't load within a certain amount of speed, etc. They all want you to deliver relevant content with a quality website. That's what we're aiming for here. So whether you want to rank on page 1 or not is not the point at this stage. We're going to, if we do everything, we're going to do, if we do the elements that are required, we're going to rank on page 1 eventually. Maybe not for the keywords we want, but for some keywords. Okay, so then last week, and at this point, hopefully, you've identified your niche and your purpose. So I know a lot of us are in e-commerce, but there are some of us that are not. So perhaps you have identified that you're going to do maybe you're going to do affiliate marketing and your purpose is to be a review site. Maybe that's what you've decided what that is. So if you are like, hey, I don't know what that means, check back for last week because or last time I should say, then you'll get more information on that. Hopefully you started a list of keyword ideas and content ideas. And again, we talked about that one in more detail last time. And then again, last time you were supposed to identify your current digital assets. So if you were like, oh, hey, I have Facebook and I have Pinterest, woohoo, I'm doing good. There's a longer list. And I will have to, I think it's on the lead generation source site. Let me pull it up real quick. Maybe. Let's see here. Lead generation source is loading. So your next steps at this point are to, oops. Dang it. That's screwed up. Okay. I pushed the wrong button. Where did she find that? Because I can't remember where I posted it. The automation checklist. I know I set it up. I just can't remember what I did with it.
Oh.
And people signed up for it and I ran an ad to it and everything. So I'm trying to figure out where I put it. I just can't remember where I put it.
Here, let me drink a little caffeine for you. It'll jog your memory.
No kidding. I kid you. You guys don't understand. Going from how much caffeine I had. I mean, it's been a week and I'm suffering significantly. I've had headaches every single day.
There was a study done on caffeine, on how it affects your brain, and they were actually saying that like people who've never had caffeine versus somebody who started to drink caffeine, right? You wake up and your brain is not nearly as efficient with not drinking caffeine, right? But then when people cut it out, it takes even longer for their brain processes to come back because they were addicted to that caffeine.
Yeah, see?
And it takes a long time. And I can't remember that, like, it was like months before the person who had been drinking caffeine was even back to semi-normal type thing. Because caffeine is very, like, it just gets you.
So here's a perfect example of something I've done wrong. So this is the site. I'm gonna give you guys the link to it. No, Linda, I'm trying to stop. I stopped drinking Diet Coke. I have really, really bad side effects when I drink it. But anyway, I will one day when I have a brain talk about that. However, I used to drink Diet Coke all the time. Then I gave it up. And then we went on vacation. I started drinking it again. And I loved how happy it made me. Probably because it has something to do with like childhood memories or something. I don't know. But I was like, oh yeah. And I get so much done. And now I've had a headache for a week. So, and nothing fixes it. Probably caffeine would, but I'm not drinking it. So anyway, so here, go to this one. This is the auto post. And this is going to be the one we're going to talk about when we build our digital assets. I can't, Linda, there's no way I can drink it. I cannot drink Diet Coke anymore. The side effects are so bad. It's like,
It's a good job, but hang in there. Hang in
yeah, I
there
know
with
they're
the-
just so bad. There's no hanging in there. I have to, I have to give it up. There's just no way. I will suffer with despair and headaches for the rest of my life if I have to.
gloom.
Gloom and doom and
If you haven't seen the Christopher Robin movie, that's where I got that from.
yeah.
He's all, what do you see outside the window?
Okay, so the next steps, let's talk about next steps. And then I gave you guys that link, which will be in just a second. So the next steps are what's your main site? So a lot of us are e-commerce, but if you're not e-commerce and you don't have a main site, you might want to start with Medium for blogging. And the reason why I say Medium is because it's like 90 something domain authority. And I have seen them ranking on page 1 for low competition keywords. And I'm like, what? So Medium somehow, because it used to not, like 6 months ago, you wouldn't see them anywhere. And now I'm seeing blog stuff all the time popping up on Medium. So whatever Medium's doing, they're doing something right. And you may want to hop on that bandwagon, which is what I'm doing. But I'm still keeping my main site. You can still use the IFTTT to automate back to your main site. And we will talk more about this when we talk about content for anybody who's interested at that point. But e-commerce, if e-commerce is your main site, you may need to blog on a different platform. And if you're on Shopify, blog on a different platform. Oh my gosh, blogging on Shopify is a freaking nightmare. And I would actually not even worry about it. If you're on Shopify, it's labeled as an e-commerce IP. I would just hop over to Blogger or Medium or WordPress, one of those, right? They have a built-in audience. I posted I syndicated, right? So I posted on Little Biz Resources and it auto posted onto my WordPress for Little Biz Resources. And I got somebody who liked my page. And I was like, see, this is exactly why I like this, because I mean, I can post on my Facebook page all day long and never have anybody see it. I post once on WordPress.com and all of a sudden I have somebody who saw it. So I feel like if I kept with it, that it would be really good. Medium does have different factors for getting shown in front of people, but hey, if you can rank because you're on Medium, why not? And so what I'm doing is I'm setting up the Medium one that you guys just saw, so that when I post on it, it automatically creates a post on my self-hosted WordPress site, my Little Biz Resources, and then that already has the automation set up to go out to all my social media, right? So I'm building in those automatic backlinks already. So it's really kind of cool once you get it all set up. It does take time. I'm not going to lie. It takes time, but you don't have to do it all at once. We're building this over a period of time. It would cost us, I don't know, 20 grand or something to just fork it out if we wanted to get it done in a week. So yeah, Marjorie, I agree. Toxic chemicals. Yep. You guys would be surprised at how toxic if I told you what it did. So again, if e-commerce is your site, pick another platform. If you want to have your own site, you can. I would just say if you're building it from scratch, you should just automate to it from Medium, because you're better off doing that. Yeah, Marjorie, actually, I'm trying to set up a series of videos because it's more complicated. So she asked, would you cover automating and posting from your website? And it's because it is more complicated. In fact, I'm trying to simplify it from the one I'm doing, because the one I pay for and listen to the guys, it's so in depth, and it's not just in depth, but it's like there's a ton of steps to it. So I'm trying to simplify it to make it a little bit easier. and then have some videos. But in the meantime, you can at least get a general gist of it from when you go to this leadgenerationsource.com/auto post. You sign up for it and you'll get the checklist sent to you. And then, which guys, I already have all your guys' emails, so don't worry about that. I need you guys to do that to help me test my automation, because I was just told the other day it's not working. So you'll get the checklist, and then you'll get sent to a video as well that will show you an overview of just kind of the basics of how to do it. And then I'll build more videos over time and hopefully add it to that page and then let you guys know. And because I know that you have that, I can send it directly to you and say, hey, check out this new video on it. All right. So our next steps, we're going to be on our main site. We're going to determine the main site, whatever that's going to be, identify it. We're going to start creating and fine tuning content using our keywords. And we're going to develop a list of content and pages, right? So we're going to just start with one. We don't need to be perfect either, right? We're just going to start with one and just make some stuff. Then we're building our digital assets and we're automating. So again, I gave you guys that link to get that info on at least to just get you started with the digital assets. Some of you are going to have more work than others. These actions are not necessarily needed by the next time we meet. It should be this one. That's what it should be. Let me double check that. Yeah, that should be it right there. I don't even know if that other one works. Does the other one work? Yeah, the other one does not work. It probably used to work. I'm still fine-tuning all that. So anyway, so these actions are not necessarily needed by the next time we meet. In fact, we'll be talking about email marketing next time, so you have time. Some of you are going to have more work than others. Make a list of what you need to do and work on something each day. That's it. Just work on something each day. For example, you have your list of keywords and content, and you have your social media assets to build or automate, right? So maybe Monday you create or fine tune a page or an e-commerce listing. If you are creating, this might take you 2 or 3 days. This is what you'll learn as you go. And then maybe Tuesday or Thursday or whatever it is, you open a new social media asset from your list, right? And then Wednesday, you may hop into the IFTTT and connect the new asset. Now, some of you may be able to do all of that in one day. It just depends on how much time you have. You might want to just work on your website for a week. You might say, okay, I'm going to build the content for a week. And then the next week, I'm going to build social assets. And then the week after that, I'm going to connect everything. It just depends on you, the way you function, your capabilities, and your time. So here's your to-do list, right? Create your to-do list. It's ironic that your first step of your to-do list, that's to-do list, is to create your to-do list, right? Yeah, you're going to get that list. If you go to this leadgenerationsource.com/auto post. So I did it again. I clicked on it. Right. So we'll do it on the, I'll paste it on the last one for anybody who's on the replay. And I'll also try to link to it. That's your list of assets. So I'm actually almost giving you a to-do list there, right? You're getting that information on there, and then you're going to tentatively schedule your actions. So if you guys ever remember the 12-week year, I think that's what it's called, that we were working with before, Aiden and Steve have talked about that before. You may want to try something like this where you plan out the next 12 weeks, but I would say whatever works for you, right? Just start a to-do list. Even if you just have a to-do list and then block time to work on your to-do list, then just go, and so you can pull it out. Just something so you can keep making progress on it, because that's the biggest thing. Like, I've been working on stuff for a couple years now, and I look back and I go, man, it feels like I haven't done anything. I'm like, that's because I have a lot to do. I'm like, oh, I should probably keep a to-do list nearby, because when I have downtime, I just start a new project. I'm like, oh, I probably should finish some of the ones I already have. All right, so supplemental courses, I am working on them. It's just so time consuming because I have had my own business emergencies. Like I said earlier, Little Biz Resources had to get moved. So do the other sites on that hosting. So it's going to be slower. The supplemental courses will come out slower, but that's okay because you have way more than enough to get you started with the webinars. And you can already create your to-do list. You can start, there's nothing stopping you, not one thing. However, you can pause the replays, recordings, and if you have specific questions, you're like, hey, I'm just not clear about this. How do I get from here to here? post the question in the Facebook group, because I'm sure you're not the only one that has that question. That will also help me create the supplemental content, right? Now I know, oh, okay, this is an element that needs more information or more clarification. And then of course I'll start posting content as soon as I can, but I cannot make any promises because, well, business emergencies. All right, so I said I was going to cover Advert Suite, but you guys, there's a review and it's ready to go. So I'm just going to do a little Kim rant here. And first of all, Facebook organic traffic is a freaking nightmare to get. Even if you're lucky and you get a viral post going like we did in June, right? Yeah, it was June. On one of our, we'll just call it a client site. That didn't relate to a ton more traffic forever, right? It's just that one post, you might get a little bit of it afterwards. And we were not set up to really do anything with that. So it was kind of sad, but at the same time, it did build up the likes on the page, and we can still do something with ads later on. So that's still beneficial. It's just very annoying to have to duplicate that over and over and over again just to get your post in front of people. And Facebook is doing that on purpose. Facebook wants you to pay for ads, especially if you're doing e-commerce or you're doing something where people are signing up. Anything where Facebook's not providing pure value to people, they want you to pay for it. And their algorithms are good. They are very good. So it may be because you are sending them to an e-commerce site, hence the reason why I would also recommend a blog somewhere else. Facebook knows when you have an e-commerce site, even when you're blogging on it. They don't care. They're going to minimize your reach simply because they can. No, their algorithm is very good, as in, yeah, it's very good at identifying what it wants to do. Like if it wants to minimize your content being shown, it's very good at knowing those elements. So you can't really trick it. There's really no way to trick it. I should say that there are ways to trick it, but it's a lot of strategy and a lot of time and a lot of effort, which you guys know. We've talked about how to run viral posts, how to monetize that, how to get free organic traffic. We know we have to jump through hoops to get traffic from Facebook, literally. And that's still a strategy, and I'm still going to do it. However, I'm still going to be running ads too. I wasn't going to before because I got really tired of testing ads. So tired of testing ads. I mean, come on. Why can't Facebook just go, here are 6 ads that work the best for us, and here's how you target? Because they want you to just waste your money. So instead, and they're, oh, well, we don't want you to not get the results because we told you something. So they leave it all up to you. So it makes it really, really hard. So for those of you who haven't heard of Advert Suite, it's a Facebook, the front end is a Facebook ad software that lets you essentially spy on your competition. You can see ads that are effective. Finally, you can see ads that are effective, when they were effective, how well they did, etc. Not as far as like money. You won't know how much money they made off of them, but you'll get to see the engagement, which is pretty darn good. It's a good indicator usually. You can also get targeting info, demographics. You can see the landing page. You can see the all-in-one dashboard, which is really nice. And there's a lot more to it as well. You can search by keyword. You can search by advertiser. You can search by domain. And one thing I like about keyword, and I didn't get to do this in the review because it was down yesterday. They did upgrade their servers last night. So they should be, I haven't had a chance to test it today, but they should be doing a lot better now. And I can't even, you guys, if you're going to run Facebook ads or you're thinking about running Facebook ads, you're going to need a tool like this. I don't know if there's another tool exactly like this. I know there are a couple of them out there that are, Marjorie, right now, I think the front end is 47. Here, let me give you the link to the actual page so you can see it without, here we go. So I posted the demo on here as well. There are, I actually list them all on this page. So in fact, here, I'll pull it up. Yeah, there we go. I know.
I'll talk to you later. Have a good one.
Okay. Thanks. Bye. Oh, she's gone. Okay, so blah, blah, blah. Let's go down here. So on the front end, and I kept this as simple as I could, it's right now it's $47. It's going to go from 47 to 67 over time. So after launch, I think it'll be $67. I don't know if and or when they will go monthly if they do. Sometimes that's strategy just to get people to buy, to say that. But I think it's still only like they're due to their licensing or something. It's only like 2 years at a time anyway. So I don't even know how that's going to work. But I'm not going to worry about it for 2 years. So the first upsell is if you want to expand that to Instagram, YouTube, and Google. I like this because I run Google ads and YouTube ads. And I think that most people would. So I think that these two are the most essential. Now the VIP training, which is, I think it's $47. I think it is. Yeah, it's either 37 or 47. It said 47 before. I meant to write them all down when I was going through it and just got excited about buying it. Sorry, guys. It's not critical. It's more like how he's doing it. You can always buy that later if you're like, oh, hey, there's just not enough training. I think you can do fine based on the basic training that I've seen. You could probably do pretty good with just this. So I did buy the VIP training. I just haven't been able to get into it because it's on the freaking servers and they went down yesterday. So I didn't get to see the VIP training to let you know if that's really worth it or not. But I can tell you guys, I'll do another full review once I get in again. But if you want to, this will keep going up. So I don't know if you care about the $20 difference or not. That would be the difference. And then the last one's actually $197, which I don't know why I left it off. And it's a reseller account. I don't know anybody in our group that would need that. And then of course I've got our bonuses, and there's a bunch of stuff that I'm working on that may or may not get added in. Quickly. You guys know when you guys do stuff with us, if you're using a tool and I have a functionality or something that goes with it, I'll definitely share it with you guys when I can. So anyway, so that's kind of the overview of Advert Suite. I don't want to make this a huge sales pitch. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. I just wanted you guys to be aware of it. And it's phenomenal. I mean, I'm excited. Finally, I'm excited about testing ads again, because the sales page is going to be hypey, right? It's going to tell you guys, oh, well, you're going to be able to duplicate their efforts. Not really. Unless you're selling the exact same product with the exact same conversion rate and the exact same landing page, you can't guarantee that because there are too many factors. But what you can do is you can say, hey, I don't have to guess anymore on how to create an ad. This ad worked. So let me also think, this is something I didn't talk about in the review, but when we talk about Facebook, I don't know if we're going to talk about advertising this time or not, but in Facebook advertising, one of the strategies we've talked about in the past is using the Facebook targeting. So their audience insights. And so if you can find a page that did really well and like their entire page is maybe similar to your niche, you may be able to target them. If not, you can find pages that are more likely like them. So this can give you a ton of insight into the people, into just targeting everything. And that makes me really excited. So I'm eager to get started, and I really wanted to try, start getting things set up yesterday. But again, first day of launch, new software launch every single time. It doesn't matter who it is. They all underestimate the number of people who buy on day one, which is kind of expected for this one, I think. But I don't know. It's just, I understand that. It's with every new software that happens. But anyway, if you want to go past Facebook ads and you want to do Instagram, Google, and YouTube, that would be the first upsell. And that's what I would recommend, at least, is the base one and the first upsell, because that will get you really started with the ads. So I like that. That's what I like about it. All right. So now that we're at the end, we're going to do Q&A, but let's just make sure next time, you guys, we're going to be talking about email marketing. And that's on September 5th. So I think that's 2 weeks away. Yeah, 2 weeks away. And hopefully I'll be done with my, I don't know, debugging myself from the caffeine overload. And hey, there's only 2 of you guys on because Demio decided to tell people it was 6 hours later. I don't know, whatever that was about. All right, so I know there's a slight delay on this, so I'm kind of waiting to make sure you guys don't have any other questions. But we are getting late, so I know you guys probably have other things to do as well. So Linda, you talk about a local business. Oh, you want to tell a joke? Okay, you find it, you cue it up, and then we'll do a joke in a minute. Cassandra wants to tell a joke. So for any local business for that matter, what you can do is you can look and see what other local businesses that are similar to yours are running, right? I wouldn't even narrow it down, maybe narrow it down to the United States, at least narrow it down to English so you can read it. But even then you don't have to. You could do it worldwide and see what other people are running and basically piggyback off of what they're doing. Because you're going to be targeting your areas that you can, I don't know if you're targeting US or you're just targeting within your geographic region. But if somebody is in Florida running an ad, you could mimic exactly what they're doing. Yeah, so you're doing your local one. So yeah, you could just mimic exactly what they're doing and keep it targeted on your local area. So to me, that's the biggest way that I see that. If I would say, and this is where I'm guessing, like, so for example, I did Celtic ornaments. I tried looking for Celtic and Irish and Scottish before the servers went down, and I couldn't find hardly any ads at all, especially that were e-commerce related, right? So, well, period. They had like 6 ads for each of the keywords, maybe 12. And so what I was finding was it was definitely verifying my suspicions that, oh, hey, I don't belong on Facebook for that, right? I tried last year and spent like $200 on ads and couldn't find any type of market. Ooh, I just dropped something. Any type of market that was relevant. And so what you might, and this is exactly why I say I like both too. So let's say you find out that Facebook may not be the best part. You can go hop on Google and YouTube and see if maybe that's where you need to be. Oh, I do need to be on YouTube. Oh, and look, they did a slide share and that's all they need to do. Okay, let's check their targeting. And so you may not, and here's the thing, is you may not need it every single day, right? That's the whole idea behind this, is when you're running ads. But since you're not paying monthly for the tool, it's currently just a one-time cost, then yeah. So, and Linda, that's a lot of local businesses feel like that. She said, for the replay, she said, seems like most, like 90% just come from drive-by and seeing the business. And seeing that's the difference between being online and being a local business, is that if you are positioned in the right place, you can have people drive by. And you are going to have a lot of people that are driving by and saying, oh, hey, because that's the whole benefit of local, right? But when you take local and you try to put it online, now what you're trying to do is you're trying to find people who are, so Facebook as an example is not exactly when people are searching for it. So let's say that people are searching for it. So if you want to capitalize on people looking for that, you would not want to be on Facebook, because how many people are typing in Facebook, whatever, garages near me or portable sheds near me? Probably none. And unfortunately, we have no tool that tells us that. But because of that, but you're on Facebook trying to inspire people who are looking for entertainment to come look at your buildings, it's going to be very difficult. And this is something we've talked about with Facebook all the time. Ads are called interruptive marketing on Facebook. They're interrupting the experience. When you are on Google or YouTube and you're serving your ads to people who are looking for your content, now you're being more of a content delivery advertising, right? So now they're like, oh, hey, I want to know more about this building, and I happen to live in the designated geographic region. When they go and search for something on Google or YouTube, they are marked as local, and they see your ad delivered related to the keywords that are most likely going to be, I think bug on me. Then that's where the benefit comes in. And that's why I've repeatedly said that Facebook is very difficult for any type of advertising unless you're doing entertainment advertising. And that's why I actually did like the upsells to the YouTube and the Google. I'm not really a big fan of Instagram, but Instagram might be beneficial as well. So that's how Linda, that's how I would see it. If you can manage to get both, you can check. And if Facebook has an ad that's running really well, then mimic it. If they don't, or if you find out that you're running the best ads out there, then you may have to go, okay, let's try out the other platforms. But that, again, that's the first upsell. So that's why I like those first two. And of course, I got the VIP training, so I can tell you more once I actually see it, if it's like worthwhile or not. But In the past, all of his VIP training has been about how to make money from it. And that's great, except for that I always think the VIP training is going to be about how to use the tool better. It almost never is. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm hesitant to recommend it, but the price isn't too bad for it. But here's the thing, Linda, is you don't have to just use the tool for that too, right? You can use it for other things. If you're still doing your Pitbull stuff, you could use it and find out what ads people are running that are doing well and say, hey, can I even replicate a post like that? Maybe you don't even want to run an ad. You just want to run a post that's similar, right? Oh, hey, this ad's working well. I just want to run a post and send people back to my listing or something. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use it. But I do see for local business where it would be a benefit if you are needing help with ads. But again, like if you go in there and you find out that it gets kind of a lot of money to find out, oh, hey, nobody's running good ads. And that's where I go back to. But over time, so here's the other thing is we are on August 22nd, right? So it runs historical ads as well. And historical ads are not as beneficial, but oh, that's good. Yeah, be able to sell them in 27 states. That's good. So you may want to just like target those 27 states with an ad and then narrow it down based on who responds the best. Are you ready? Did you get it queued up?
Yeah.
Where's the page? You don't have your finger in a page.
Oh.
That's how you queue it up. You get it ready. She's getting ready, yeah. She's going to learn all my words one day. Linda says hi. See?
Hi.
Okay, well, you can come up here. Are you ready? Okay. Watch your little toes. Here, where's the book? Is this the page you want?
Yes, and there's two.
Which one are you going to do?
I'm going to do that one.
Okay, tuck right in here.
Why did Tigger stick his head in the toilet? No.
She says, get a drink.
Oh, no.
This one's so wrong, by the way.
No.
They're up. Okay, go ahead and tell her.
He was looking for poo.
So wrong. Okay, what else?
Let's see, the one over here.
Okay.
What do you call an elephant in a phone booth? No.
Close, though.
Yeah, close.
That was pretty close. Squished was close.
Yeah, squished was close.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, tell him.
Stuck.
All right, that's it, right?
I'm going to do one more. Let me find another one. Oh.
Okay.
Why was the vacationing elephant so glum? No.
Oh, we should say for the recording doesn't know. It says, so Linda guessed he missed his friends. Good guess. You ready? Oh man, this thing's messed up again. Hold on. He forgot his trunk. Ooh, that's closer.
That is a little close, and that's almost there. It was almost there.
But go ahead and say it. Say what it is.
The airline lost his trunk.
There you go. Good job. Okay. All right, that's good. Thank you, baby.
You're welcome, Mama.
All right. So now that we have had some jokes, I think it's about time to end this particular session, and we will be back for the marketing one in 2 weeks, but next week will be e-commerce for those that are on that. Yes, thanks, Marjorie. Thanks, Linda, for coming, even though it said 6 more hours for some reason. Yeah, I do. I have a bunch of water I need to drink. And I will, if you guys have questions, like Marjorie, if you get stuck on something and you're like, oh, hey, I'm trying to do something specific and I can't figure out, just, either post it in Facebook or send me a message or something, and I will do what I can to get back to you. If you guys send a message and I don't get back to you, definitely contact me through Facebook, because that goes straight to my phone. But feel free to email if you want. I get a lot of emails and sometimes I miss them. So anyway, thanks again for everything, for coming and for interacting. And I will see you guys next time. Talk to you later. Have a great weekend. And or I'll see you. Hop in there too. All right. Bye, guys. Or ladies. Bye, ladies.